And he's I guess, a role player, maybe a support player. And the clip here is basically demonstrating how well he plays this inner bomb side. It's just a montage of him delaying, making impact frags, and showing, you know, how to hold this inner site. He does this a lot. It does this on like Overpass. There's plenty of other maps where he has to solo and get a lot of multi-frags and relay information to his teammates. So he's one of these inside players that plays the off angles, relies heavily on his rotator, can delay, can communicate well. If we get to it, I don't know if it's included or not. There's one that he gets where they're down in a low man advantage. He grabs 2 frags, even delays for his teammates to rotate. It's a very difficult position, and you know, the players who play it probably don't get the credit that is due.
Yeah, and just very briefly on that, if you look back at the Fnatic game as well, Seized was continuously dominating someone like Flusher, who kind of likes these sort of spots as well. He was constantly being pressured, so it'd be interesting to see someone like Keo now in that position, trying to be able to hold back Navi.
Yeah, Keo has been lights out on this team recently. He's been incredible the way he's stepped up, but it goes the same for someone like Alu as well. This team is, like I said, probably one of the deeper we have right now in the Pro Scene, which is surprising considering they just add Nico. Do we have the 2 best players in Counter-Strike in the server in this match, Nico and Simple?
Arguably, yeah. I'd say they're, you know, definitely 2 of the players in the top 5.
Yeah.
For sure. Like individual skill-wise, I think people need to make sure that we're putting that in that context. But for sure, I don't think it's going to be a battle of Nico versus Simple, however. That's not what we're going to see. But we do have that explosive potential for amazing individual plays and clutches to come out of these guys tonight.
Now, the first map is going to be Train. This is a map that Navi has always been very, very good on. We just saw Guardian the other day with the op having some stunning shots. He likes to go for that spam, for instance, the number 5 play of last week. Yeah. I mean, is this a map that they're going to rely on the AWP to be effective? Like, what did we see from it last week? Were they relying too much on Guardian? Were they able to have the set tactics?
Yeah, for Navi, I think, you know, the AWP is obviously going to be very important. That duel against Alu, he's the inside rotator if they can find him. Also picking Karrigan towards Ivy. I think a key for Faze going into this is sandwich. They really like to play that position. Rain likes to play it. Karrigan also likes to get up in that position. And when you're getting executed on late round, if you have a player in sandwiches the CTs, you can slow that execute down, allow your teammates to rotate, and basically shut down any late kind of splits. So I think that's a key position for Navi to flush out Faze while they're on their CT side.
Is there space on this map for Nico to make plays? What we've seen from him on Mirage, for instance, at Katowice was, you know, there were rounds where he just took the initiative, walked up a ramp, took some duels, more often than not won them. Can he do that on Train as well? Can he be that force that is going to attract so much attention?
Mouse had him doing it. They were doing the outside execute, sending
Mouse
him
had him doing a lot of things. Most of things, one could argue.
I think, you know, if he has good spawns and he can get out to Olaf, or he can push up behind the smokes and then, you know, pop flash himself through or get a flash and then make some picks, he can. It's just a bit more difficult to have a heads-up duel, you know, just stepping out of Pop Dog or trying to take a duel on Ivy. It's heavily utility-based to make room for him. Once he has that room, he can definitely make those impact frags.
Here's something we can talk about, because I just got word that we're missing a couple Faze players, so we have some time while they're joining the server. Mouse Sports without Nico seem to be, you know, we talked a lot at the beginning of the season when they were 4-1 that, you know, Nico got them out to a good start. But now they still continue to do well, almost like they're flourishing. What is it about this team that can lose one of the best players in the world and almost look like they're better?
Oscar's just fallen into hard carry mode. If you look at him statistically, I think he's actually one of the better players out of the Pro League currently. Yeah. Individually, that is. He's made a huge impact to the team, and I think it's the mental impact of maybe not having necessarily Nico there. Maybe everyone has to step up, quite simply. They've always had players, I guess, to a degree, who've kind of been put into that role and been able to take them further into games. Chris J had it for a while, didn't necessarily flourish in it, then he came back and looked decent. I think that they've just kind of realized, all right, I guess this is where we are now, and it's building blocks. So for me, I just feel as though they've actually had to start putting in a lot more work.
Dennis as well. I think he's been playing a lot better. The freedom that Nico allows when being removed from the team, it's a lot of space for other players to potentially take some roles, take some positions on the map he might enjoy, make a few more frags. I think, though, just looking here at the run, they did lose a map to LDLC on Nuke. It doesn't really seem, Nuke doesn't seem like a Mouse map, to be fair. But it's going to get more difficult for them, even though you have to play Virtus, Heroic, obviously they're looking good at the moment. G2 have been on the rise, Faze, Navi and Fnatic, who obviously they're not world beaters right now, but they're still very tough opponents. So Mouse look like they have a difficult end to the season. So if they can keep it up, then sure, they're a top performer.
Now, these two teams, the big thing with them going head-to-head is they're right in the middle of the pack. I mean, these are two teams that we expect to be in the playoffs, excuse me, in Dallas at the end of the season. Are we still seeing both of them make it? Are we still seeing both these teams kind of get there?
Who are the next games coming up? Do we know?
For Faze?
Yeah, let's just
have a look
start
at
Faze.
Faze.
I'm kind of curious who they have to play. So Navi's tonight,
This is they have all 3 games this week is against Navi, LDLC, and Astralis.
So they have a busy week. They have a big week essentially.
Yeah,
because Astralis isn't top 6 at the moment, are they? Are they?
Yeah, they are.
Did they get back
like
into it last week?
They're actually quite high.
They rose up pretty far last week.
They also have a quite difficult end to the season. Fnatic, North, Virtus Pro, G2. Some big names.
That's not bad at all.
Big scalps.
We say difficult, though, but it's like it literally can be 2 map wins gets you massive jumps in placement. Obviously, every other team can do the same thing. But the point being, if they've got Hellraisers left, they've got LDLC in there, they've got teams that they can get those quote-unquote comfortable wins, and they are a team that contend very comfortably against top tier. I think they're a team that's, I wouldn't say settled, right? They're not a surefire, but they should be there. It looks like a decent run for them now.
Here's the thing. You look at the bottom of this with NIP and G2. Astonishing that together they only have 3 wins, but with how close it is, with the fact that 4th seed is only 5 wins, is there still a chance for these 2 teams to somehow get up there to make it?
I don't think it's mathematically impossible. I think, you know, if they just start stringing wins together, they need to be getting 2-0s versus big dogs, right? You can't just be getting the 1-1s. It's too late for that right now. They've lost to teams they probably shouldn't have. And this is the chance for them to get back in it by getting some big scalps. The problem is, I think the way that the veto happens or the maps that they're going to end up on, it's always going to be comfortable maps for both teams. It's never going to be an extreme, like this team is a huge favorite. So for them to be able to win a veto or to pull a map that the other team definitely doesn't like or definitely isn't expecting, that's completely out of the realm of possibilities. So they have to make sure that they're super prepared on the maps that they do have, which are, I guess, middle ground maps. They might have to put in a little bit of work on things that they might neglect.
Well, because here's why I asked, because I know you just mentioned G2 on the rise, and obviously that's taking into account different leagues, different qualifiers they're playing in, as well as Pro League. NIP as well. I remember after Katowice, you said they're looking much better than they have in the past. Yeah, we still see them in these. Yeah, at the time, we still see them struggling so much in these. What is it that makes you feel like these 2 teams are playing better?
Well, so the NIP one was from the horse's mouth. That's what Freiburg said. He said they felt like they were playing better in Katowice, even though they didn't make it out of the group. He felt they were playing a better brand of Counter-Strike, but for them to still make that roster change, obviously they felt there's room for improvement. Now, we don't know how that roster change is going to pan out, right? Normally, these guys make that change. They're stuck with the 4 members, and that they have that 5th man who's on the outside of the circle. Whether or not that cycle is going to continue, we just have to wait and see. That's the thing with NIP right now. But G2, not in this league, but in other tournaments, they're on the rise. You know, they did beat Envy the other day quite convincingly. It was a 2-0 to make it to Star Ladder. They've been getting wins that they hadn't been getting before. It looks like things are clicking. There's a bit more cohesion in the way that they're approaching the game. So I think we're seeing positives out of them. They just had a boot camp.
Yeah, and just a final note, just to remind people how ridiculous Pro League can be. Even in season, I think it was 3, the last team to be able to get into the, I think it was top 6 or whatever it was from EU that qualified to the finals that were in London was G2. They just scraped in. It was you know, the last hurrah they had, and they went on to finish 2nd to SK at the time. You know, it can seriously be anyone within that top 6. We saw it back then, and at that point, I don't think CSGO was as close with the same kind of top teams we're seeing right now. Anyone can make it. So again, sure, I don't think G2 feasibly can do it, neither can NIP at this point. I think everyone else is just too competitive and they've got off to better starts, but other teams have done it and they've made it to the finals and then got 2nd place. So again, it's definitely possible.
Yeah, okay, so Lauren, I know you kept your eye on, we talked about this a little bit last week. We'll touch on it again really quickly. I know you kept your eye on the NIP matches last week when Draken was playing his first games with them.
Very vaguely.
Very vaguely? I was going to say, were you impressed?
I don't think he was the big factor in those games, if I'm honest. He didn't make a huge issue of himself. He wasn't a huge high flyer, though, from what I saw at least. But I think it's about the other players on NIP. I think it's a team feeling, and if they're feeling motivated, you might.
Well, for now, we'll have to see who's going to win it up. 2 of the best players in the world competing tonight. It's Faze versus Navi, and your casters are going to be Henry G and Sayakist.
If I'm honest, Moses, I forgot to go to the bathroom before the game, so it better be quick.
And did you shut up as well? It's all looking good.
Just looking cologne, mate. You know, having some fun, having a good time.
Perfect.
Well, we had a good weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a nice little game to kick things off. Bit of Navi versus Faze. We actually saw this recently as well. I think Navi won 16-7. So you would expect them to be taking this one, but you have to say the firepower that Faze beholds is something quite crazy. And obviously Nico stepping up. They're
Sorry, I was like Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant they only played Saturday. I think they played like 6 or 7 a night. No, but the point is that in form right now, they went further in Katowice than Navi has gone since the New York tournament, which they won. And since then, it's been all downhill. You said last time 16-7. I'm not reading into that too much. They're both 5-3. They just talked about how close it is to make the finals. Big game. Someone's got to go 2-0 here.
Well, here we go then. Navi versus Faze. It will be Navi starting on the T side. He'll have a look at their buy. Normally quite utility-based here on training. There'll be 2 smokes and a Superman for Flamey as well. He's very good in that role. But Rain, like we normally say, it's normally the inside area that players tend to go towards on that T side. But Rain's going towards the upper ramp to try and challenge that at the start. Get some early information. He will have some confrontation as well. The shot's starting to be fired. Doesn't do any damage, but he spots 2 of them. So that will slow Navi down somewhat. But they still have 2 smokes here. And, of course, Flamey on that Tech 9. As they start to show the windows towards Pop Dog and a little bit inside as well. Rain has fallen back.
As indeed. Edward's going to wait top pop. Try and make his way down. The opportunity arises. Meanwhile, backing off all the way inside the site. The USP will sit to hold off the top position. Simple's the one around the corner. Looks like he could be the first to peek. The wide pick known to the top position, so he's got to be very careful as to how he approaches the tanker.
So Flamey's by himself towards Ivy. Remember, he's the Superman buy, so he's either going to be coming in for the backstabs here, or he's going to be trying to sell something at the start of the round. They will end up towards inside, so it's up to Flamey now. Does he go before, try and get a kill and force some rotation towards outside? Then they drop everything towards the inner bomb site? That's the question right now. One smoke deployed towards Connector, and they're coming out towards that upper ramp.
Rain's already backed off as well. Kiyoshima. He'll drop off the train. Giving them a lot of ground to work with inside of B, but the face play on A is going to pull off the rotations. Flamey's found the first on Kerrigan. This is an easy plant on the way through. Stop on top of the spools, though. Interesting position to try and play from. Doesn't allow the shot to come through. It's 1 kill already before the bomb plant goes down, and it's Alu that's got a lot of ground. Are they ready for this? He's going to slip in behind. They've got the high ground, sure, but they don't know that he's here. He does nearly miss and give himself away, but taps it, knows he's now last alive, and they've got to be on all sides, all facets, and as soon as they approach, awkward exchange. Eventually, someone was going to kill him. There's not much you could really hope for in that situation.
Yeah, he was just trying to get a couple of kills. He gets $300 for his troubles, but as we kind of described, they get the inner control, they push Rain all the way back towards the back of the bomb site in B, and at that point, Flamey's ready to strike, so we're kind of speculating, was he going to kind of go with the backstabs when we go towards CT spawn, but no, he sells the fake outside, he gets 1 kill as well, that's perfect, just as he gets it as well, that's the cue, everyone jump in towards the inside bomb site, gets a little bit awkward, they get the plant down, find the frags, exchange is going in their favor, and it's been quite a clean round overall for Navi. They get 3 AKs going into round number 2 here. There will be a force buy from Faze Clan with Deagles, and a P250 for Alu, just to note as well, he hasn't got armor, so he is going for that AWP in the first gun round. That's normally something we discussed with Faze. They normally limit themselves. Alu's normally joining them on these force buys in the second round. It looks like that's something they've rectified at this point, as Kerrigan, looking to get the 1D here against Seized, takes quite, I was about to say a damaging grenade, but doesn't actually touch him at all.
Nah, merely a flesh wound. Seized will back off USP in hand. Bomb still waiting toward T-spawn. Looks increasingly like it will head toward B yet again. Similar setup this time toward Ivy. The difference being that Alu's not close to the B site. He's still out towards Sandwich, so should be pretty straightforward to walk in against Kiyoshima. With Armor and Deagles, they may elect to not even rotate over and go for the retake. They may just try and save those for the third round.
Yeah, this is looking pretty promising from Navi. You can see Seized is aware that Kerrigan could be pushing towards Ivy. He's got a smoke in his hand right now. Smoke deployed. He might be taken down at this point, but he just about makes it towards inside. It will be another inner take here. They've smoked towards outside. That's the fake. It's Kiyoshima alone. You can see the players all being rotated towards outside. They will be starting to come back in. Kiyoshima not in the best position. Will be punished at that point, but an amazing shot from Nico does give them something to work with here.
Ooh, shot to work with indeed. We know Nico's good on a deagle. We saw Nico and Nico good on a deagle.
Yeah.
Heroic Nico obviously being the other. Rain's going to follow it up. Kerrigan has one in the mix. This becomes a bit of a promise, but it might not go fulfilled because it is just Nico remaining. 1 kill in the round. Tag on Simple, and that may have been accurate enough. I'm not sure if that clipped the edge of the train or it was the top of the shoulder, but either way, it's enough to signify that his chances are gone. He'll grab a UMP. If he could locate Simple fast enough on the entrance back toward the site, he might have had a chance at it, but Simple's relocated and takes him instead.
So Navi going towards inside once again. They went for that outside fake once more. Instead of actually committing a player over there, 2 smokes. C's holding the flanks as well. He was lucky to get away with Carrigan's push from Ivy. But overall, they managed to win the 2 versus 1. Gets a bit scary when it's Nico left over with the Desert Eagle in his hand and that one shot towards the bomb train as well was Simple. He was feeling very brave, challenging Nico there, but manages to live to tell the tale as we go into round number 3. Full eco now for Faze and just silenced USP. Some grenades. It's going to be Carrigan throwing that in towards main entrance. Doesn't land any damage. And Guardian, he's got no AWP. He'll just be running around in the Tech 9 here trying to farm some cash. As Simple finds the first frag, takes on Carrigan. Not really much CDs can do. You can see 4 of them actually place towards that inside site. We'll be pushing now. Simple, he's going to get like 2 or 3 kills there. Oh, they're not even going to go down Pop Dog. It's probably a good idea, right? Because you're just going to give him free money at that point. Might as well see if you can get anything out of this. Every kill they get, even if it's like quite a frustrating one, it's worth $300. Nico gets one.
He does. Does indeed. Guardian knows his UMP in front, wants that. Tech 9 still in hand. Could line up 2 potential kills. Nico goes low enough that Edward will follow it up. Keo actually takes Rain out for him, so it's 2 versus 2, just like that. And Nico's going to be able to pick up another UMP. Yeah. Thankfully, C's gets down that ladder because Alu finds that kill. Nico with the UMP picked up. Bomb down inside of the site. It would have been Flamey to take off 2 charging from the same position. It would have had trade potential.
Pretty decent eco there from Faze. They've kept Navi reasonably modest at this point. You can see the reinvestments coming in. 8K still on Flamey, so they're not too damaged. Simple's almost got 8,000 as well, so they're fine. But Alu, he brings out the AWP. I'm assuming Guardian's going to do the same at the moment. He's still got a Glock in hand. Could be dropped that AWP. We'll see where it comes in. AWP goes down, of course. Guardian, this is one of his home maps. Very, very good, especially on this T side. Normally works towards main entrance, but this time he opts towards Ivy. It's 3 players going there. I suggest maybe a run boost comes in, try and allow a shot to be baited out. But Alu, he's actually be waiting his position as well, and his teammate, in the form of Carrigan, will be baiting him in, and there's a nice little leg shot to hit the rival AWP player. Guardian goes down to 15.
Down from Ivy.
He'll back off as well.
Fraction of the damage. Flamey's going to back. Oh, look at Carrigan's position. Backs off with noise. I would have thought he could have struck upon that. He's waiting. UMP in hand. Smoke down.
So Alu would have known he got that leg shot at this point. So he's given his position away. Most AWPers at this point would rotate over, which he has done. He's gone towards connector. So that makes a lot of sense, right? He's trying to funnel them to different areas on the maps. This is actually very intelligent play from Alu. He's actually very good at this sort of style. And they go towards inside once again. Very simple what he did in the pistol. So he sees and coming out towards Ivy. Oh, he has to get that frag, and unfortunately he doesn't. They're going to know it.
Closer from the CT spawn, and Simple's going to hold that exact angle. It's a tight one as well. Carrigan's going to have trouble, looking and spotting it, but good shoulder peek. Figures it out exactly what Simple was trying to play. Low HP on Guardian becomes a factor, but Flamey pushed up. They're not going to anticipate it. Kerrigan jumps right into it and walks around the corner. I think he might have. I hadn't caught it on the mini-map if he'd moved or not, if he was waiting for Kerrigan, but yeah, pause. Yeah, he timed out.
It wouldn't have made any sense for him. So it was a 2-on-2, right? But you can see Carrigan, he was almost bailing out of that situation. I think he got the call from his teammate. Maybe he dropped out of TeamSpeak or something, but you don't just sit in connector with a flashbang in your hand. So this will be a technical pause. It's going to be 4-0 in favor of Navi there. I'm not sure at what point Rain timed out. I didn't see when that actually happened, but it was. It was Simple as well. They took 2 players down, Kiyoshima and Alu, who were waiting with that AWP, of course, as well. And they managed to overwhelm the bomb site. And as you do, you push down as far as you possibly can, throw the Molotovs towards connector as well, towards CT spawn, stop the CTs rotating in, and you've already got those forward positions, holding the lines, and not really much they can do about that. So, of course, the Rain does drop out, but unfortunate for him. And it should be an eco at this point for Faze as well. This is pretty rough. Certainly one of those CT-sided maps we have. Going 5-0 down against Navi is never where you want to be. So in terms of the buy, they can get into round number 5 here. Will be maybe 5-7s and some body armor. They get maximum loss winners in the next round. Ali's got 3K at the moment, so you can get the AWP into the next one. But Navi, more the same from them this one. They know it's going to be an eco. Maybe some pistols, wait for the inside push, execute outside, all the smokes, Molotovs deployed, go together, trade frags. Should be quite a relatively easy round for them.
Could be a bit of time here before we see Rain back. Hopefully it's not.
That looked like a proper timeout. So like, that could
oh yeah, no, he was 100% not moving. He's just sitting there.
That was like his ISP going, I would imagine.
Wow, it could be his computer going. It could be anything going. It doesn't necessarily mean ISP. But yeah, He definitely was not moving. Oh, I see him back on your screen.
He's back.
So this is a good sign. This could be a lot quicker than I was potentially setting myself in motion for. Mentally preparing.
Well,
mental fortitude is everything. If you ever get stuck in the woods, Henry,
what have you got to do? What's your top tip?
Stay strong.
Just stay strong.
Hug
Just
a tree.
stay strong.
Use that mental fortitude.
Don't you normally drink your urine?
I do that for fun anyway.
Yeah, like not even if you're in the forest. You just do it anyway.
Nah, I do it anyway.
Yeah,
if I was stuck in the forest, though, I would turn into a cannibal after like an hour. I'd just be like, that's it. This is my life now. I'm going to rip my shirt into a tank top and eat the first person I see.
Not asking for help, just eat them.
No, that's it.
Fair enough. We're back into it. This is going to be a little partial buy here from Faze. There's a scout for Carrigan, and 5 players one side. So this should be a set piece. There's actually 5 players outside for Faze. So we're going to have a rough time here doing anything about this. It should be quite a simple play. Flashes over, smoke down lower ramp, and simple. He's patrolling towards upper. Here's the flashbang in the hands of Guardian. Here we go. Not really much you can do about this. Unless Carrigan start hitting some amazing shots here, they should be done for. There's one.
That's not a bad start. Oh, could have been 2. Didn't even tag him. Didn't fire the shot. Simple got it first. He gets 2 on the AK. Looking for a third as he gets forward. Tagged off. Got to drop down. They know he's in the lane. Linear perspective. Very easy shot for Rain as a result. And Rain will continue to push forward upon the site. 3 versus 3 as well. And the AK in the hands of Alu could start to be a threat to them. Is this the first round that they're going to get? Because Guardian looks the wrong way at the wrong time. Alu gets closer. It's Edward from above. Spotted out immediately and a fast push in from Alu. It's down to Flamey. 1 versus 2. Bomb still planted. It is planted for him, but they've gone hunting. They're going to try and wrap around. No, they're not. He thinks they are, but this pushes him out of the lane, and that's going to open him up to Nico. Okay. But no kit means no round.
Yeah, they've had a lot of frustrating rounds like this. That's getting to the final kill and then not being able to finish it off. But good news is, saving the AWP, certainly going to help out into round number 6 here. It will be Navi picking up the 5-0 on the T side. That's a massive start for them. And we'll have a look at the buyers coming in, carrying it and all. This could be the double AWP setup, in fact. Okay, he throws it over. I thought that would be the go-to play, considering they saved an AWP. I think Alu could have afforded a second one, but not opting for it. He's going to have the single AWP set up here. He went towards Ivy last time. We'll have a look at the minimap and see where he's heading towards. Looks like a very similar play. Keep an eye on him and see whether he'll be challenging Guardian this round. Guardian, of course, back towards main entrance. Trying to do the old wall bang once again. Managed to land it against Fnatic last week.
Hashtag POV Rain. Hello. Gets taken down by Edward, who will switch to his hashtag POV or exclamation mark, whatever you guys are typing. Edward gets 2, though. It makes it now 5 versus 3. As the bomb gets closer again, Navi, I have to say, on train, considering Faze, remember the overtime situation we had at Katowice? The first time we had the overtime decided, they beat Astralis. They looked very strong in the map. They were confident to try and leave it in the map pool for the finals. Unfortunately, the curveball came out that Inferno came as the 4th map in the best of 5. They never got this far. They like this map a lot.
Yeah.
And Navi is battering them on it, getting bomb plants every single round, controlling the space. Yeah. Forcing rotations.
Controlling the pace is key. They've completely changed up that round. They've been going very slow and providing a lot of fakes so far. This time, Faze, pretty standard set from them. They smoke towards Pop Dog. You think, when you drop a smoke in that area, you think, okay, that's the risk eradicated. No one's be coming out of that area. It'd be crazy to run through a smoke. They throw one flashbang over. Edward just rolls out towards Pop Dog. Rain can't believe it. He's got a flashbang in his hand. He gets taken down, and so does his teammate as well. So great work from Edward. Pretty much wins the round single-handedly there. Some nice shots from Simple to finish things off. And there it is. It's going to be round number 6 going in favor of Navi. AWP has been purchased, though, by Carrigan. He had a bit more residual cash. He got dropped a weapon in the previous round by Alu. So he's going to try and pick up this round by himself. Certainly can work on a map like Train. Kill one towards that side, funnel them in there. You're waiting for them once again. Oh, but they've spotted Nico, and he narrowly stays alive there as the AWP bullet whistles past his head. Grenade, that lands directly. Here we go.
Fall away from the position. When does FaZe Clan finally strike? Do you know the sad part about all of this?
What?
Nico's on my team.
I forgot to update my team. I've got the whole liquid
squad again. You're so out of the league at this point, Henry.
That's why I decided.
It'd be better to stop trying and act like you never did, because otherwise you're going to prove how little you know about Counter-Strike.
It's true. Fantasy does gauge the knowledge quite well.
Yeah, absolutely. If Thorin were here, he'd be dominating, right? Predictions. Yeah. That's how it works. I'm in 3rd. I'm going to pass Sydney Underground this week, though. Sydney Underground going down. Under the ground.
Okay.
Without a sound. Alu onto the ladder. He's going to fall off this, though. Sees at 75, and a no-scope from Guardian. Lands directly in front of him and nails it. You would have thought he got one, would have had one there, excuse me, gotten one. and then been traded. Flash out, Kerrigan blind, tries to fire into it. To the E-box instead, though, and that was evasive of his bullet as Kerrigan resets his aim. Resets, ooh, the position, misses, and gives Guardian another kill in the round. It's on a Kiyoshima. This is the kind of game that Faze is having, unfortunately.
Yeah, they get themselves to winnable situations there. Then all of a sudden, some amazing shots hit by Guardian with 5 HP. Somehow he hits that little no-scope as he drops down towards. I actually watched that. I don't think it was a no-scope. I think he landed, and there were so many missed shots from the CT that he had a chance.
Time.
He did a quick scope.
Because, yeah, I assumed just because on ours it was so fast that it almost looked like he hadn't even hit the ground.
It still should have been an impossible situation for him. Somehow, he always wins them.
I would have liked exclamation point POV Guardian in that one, Henry.
I'm sure we can have another look. But Kiyoshima saving the AK-47, of course, still a maximum loss bonus. Kerrigan, though, he fully invested that round. He leaves himself with $800. To be fair, he can still buy up around that. 3,400 on top of that.